I watch him and I think if he was 18, I'd be thinking this guy has really got something. But he's not 18 anymore. Yeah. He just doesn't seem to mature.
Well, it wouldn't be a blood red pod without a little bit of a natter on Darwin Nunez before we get into the book. A player who, I guess he divides opinion. Everyone's got an opinion on him. Where do you stand on him and his current
divides
status?
My own opinion. Like that's it's not that long ago since I was sitting on podcast and going, this guy, box office, he is the one. I can see what it's all about now. And that's around the time of it's the Bournemouth goal, I think, last season. It's the one where he chips the keeper. Is that Bournemouth or is it Brentford? Either way,
Brentford,
yeah. Brentford, yeah. So it's like, when he's on it, he's on it. And I've had a concern for him so far this season. It's just how little we've seen him play, to be honest. But then crops up with that absolute banger of a left footer the other week, and you think, okay, well, he's got something. He's the one who's still got the furthest to go. And bear in mind, obviously Chiesa's barely kicked the ball for us, but it feels as though I can see Chiesa's pathway. It's going to be half an hour here and, and 20 minutes there for Salah until a point where he's maybe ready to step up. But he's so different to what Diogo Jota is that there's going to be a decision point on him, and it's up to Nunes to make that decision point. How long his next contract? Is it a 5-year contract or is he being sold? That's basically, I think, what it's going to come down to. Because if he just gets it right, and there's a chance that he will get it right, it might just take a bit more coaching time and that kind of thing, and he might yet explode. But it's just as likely to not happen, and him just to get quietly shuffled out the door, and he'll go on the pile with the Naby Keitas of this world of expensive failures, unfortunately.
Yeah, feels like it's on a knife edge, that.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Newcastle last year was the one for me. He scored those 2 brilliant goals, and I thought, oh, yeah, this guy's really going to go on from here. And then he didn't. And I watch him and I think if he was 18, I'd be thinking this guy has really got something. But he's not 18 anymore. Yeah. He just doesn't seem to mature. He's just, I don't know, he's sort of reckless. It's something wrong with him. I don't know what it is.
It's just
whether it's lack of intelligence. It's a horrible thing to say, but he acts emotionally to everything. Mm-hmm. He even plays his football emotionally, and sometimes you just need to calm down a bit. Be more like Jota.
You've got to be emotional. Like Suarez was emotional, but he was ruthless as well. And Jota's a good example of that. Jota's an absolute killer. And when you put him on the pitch and barrel down on goal, but Darwin's got the whole package. But there's just, you're right, there's a little something there. But we did see it last season when he was made the main man, when Salah goes to AFCON and Liverpool geared towards him, and there might just be that thing down the line. We're still such an imbalanced team. I don't think you would choose to have your most creative players be your right winger and your right back. I don't think anyone would build a team expressly for that. But sometimes things happen and you run with it, don't you? There's a world to be said that if Salah fades out, if you could plug another Diaz style player on the right hand side and have Darwin lead the line, you could have a sensational attack when he's the one who's charged with sticking the ball in the back of the net and not trying to pull strings deeper in the side. Yeah. But that requires something to change fundamentally in the team, and I don't think he's worth changing it for as yet.
Yeah. I think he's quite lucky at the moment because the crowd still love him. If the crowd ever turn on him, then that's the end.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. The thing for me is the chances are drying up. I always remember Gerard Houllier saying about Michael Owen, he's not worried that he's missing chances. The worry is when the chances don't come anymore. And at the moment, the change in system means he's not getting as many shots on goal. And last season, the shout sort of was, well, if you can just tighten up the finishing, just get...
Well, about this time last season, he hit the bar 12 times.
Well, there we go, yeah.
I know, it's right, that, isn't it? But to be fair, it's like Jota's not scoring loads of goals. That centre forward position, I don't think that's been won yet. I think that's an ongoing battle. I think Jota's winning it because I think it's more quantifiable what he can bring, and I think he understands what's required of the role. But you might find that it might be Darwin, but it might be someone else in the summer who just comes in, and when you get that right player, we'll go, right, okay, that was what we were looking for the whole time. But again, still to be working on that on the training ground. But until somebody's scoring at least a goal every other game in that position, it's kind of going to remain up for grabs as far as I'm concerned. Jota's the incumbent, and he will do, but we know he always struggles to stay fit over long periods as well. Yeah. So Darwin's going to get his chances, and he's looked okay, to be fair. When he's had his opportunities, he's looked all right. But It's just whether you are just getting a functional performance. I think that there's a big red flag coming for him, is that when he gets pushed back to out wide, I think that'll be the writing on the wall for him, because you find that happen with so many managers, particularly Liverpool over the years, where you can't quite work. Jibril Cisse was a great example of the Benitez.
Emil Eskew by the end
Emil
of it,
Eskew, and you go, I can't make him work exactly how I want, but he's got a load of pace, so I'll just try and find a way to make that work out wide. Divock was another one. So yeah, fingers crossed for him, because look, he cost a lot of money. The crowd do love him. I think there's a great, sense of positivity around him as a person. He's given us some great moments already. It'd be lovely if it would just work, because there's not loads of great striking options out there. We've clearly gone big on this one. I'd rather the one that's already at the club work go out to the market again.